Hmm. um, it's a good thing that I wonder, and I do it anyhow. I did it for years. I mean, I just Jessica Nicole Holbrooks is one of the people that says she digs my stuff. She likes my journey. She likes my story, my soap opera, whatever you want to call it. Um, but in terms of what the YouTube tells me, ain't nobody watching. That's I do this for fun. This is the last weekend of winter. Um, we're going to have flurries tomorrow. Probably the last flurries, I hope, until next late fall. As a pizza driver, you always got to have some sort of promotion going on. So they got Flyers 3. If the Flyers win by 3, 50% off. And I'm on call if they do. I mean, I'm always game for the money, but I'm also always game to have a day off once in a while. Supposed to have 2 days off a week. They're not in a row. I actually like the current schedule that they gave me. It's pretty awesome. I don't make a lot of money for real. Um, but with the gifts that Daddy's given me, I make enough to do what I want. Until it gets fixed, this is the latest thing that they know, along with healthcare, that they can make a fortune on. And it's not just the people who do it, but the people who taught them get paid a lot to teach them how. It's a very complex system. The whole deal, right? Not just dentistry, not just medicine. The whole thing is very complex. Um, I'm pretty good at hoping. I'm pretty good at hoping. Yes, I am. Most of my teeth, the crowns went away. They hurt like hell, and they died. And I'm hoping that an abscess can work its way till it can't. It ain't got no place to go. And if we could deal with the pain, then it'll go away. I'm hoping. Doesn't mean it'll happen. I ended up in the hospital because my leg started swelling up, and I'm like, I ain't losing my leg, man. Do whatever you gotta do to me. Hurt me, steal me, kill me, take whatever I got. I don't got nothing. But I don't want to die that day. Um, they were actually quite nice. The Reading Hospital Medical Group, the Reading Hospital, whatever. I mean, mainly the Reading Hospital because that's where I was at. I went to St. Joseph's, but man, they it's a good thing I didn't end up there because you got to pay for TV there, and I, as far as a bad experience, it was as good as I could have expected at the Reading Hospital. I've heard people say that St. Joe's is good too. My personal experience, I'm glad I ended up over there. Um, Yesterday I mailed out the $50 and the proof of insurance to at least be able to get the insight. It sat a lot in its 10 years. Probably half of the time when it wasn't sitting there, it was doing 100 miles a day. Um, but it never performed up to its pitch, what they pitched. And, you know, I've been thinking about this for years, 2 years now, what I'm going to put in that letter. You say it needs a new computer, that's fantastic. I hope you still got one. You don't make these things anymore. But I'd like you to make sure before I get it back that it actually does this. It should always try and keep a full battery to perform as it was supposed to, and it never did. It's always wanting to be poor, which is not a good hybrid, and it makes it really not good at all. Yeah, and it wants to die every couple of months, and every 6 months to a year too. This is not cool. This is not good programming. And when the leaders put their trust in the people who program things, if you can't keep track of exactly who's doing what programming, they could be putting stuff in there you don't want in there, and you ain't never gonna find out who did it. It's a different language. You know, binary is a language. And they know you don't know it. And try and find them. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of things where the computers are doing things they shouldn't be doing. And that's because the programmers are like, these things are so hot, I'll just set something up to go off about 4 years later, and you'd never find me. Kind of like genetic code, actually. Works very similar. Computers don't do nothing they weren't told to do, neither do genes. And computers don't have the ability to do what bodies do, which is they evolve on their own. Something goofy goes on and then they change a little bit. Computers don't do that. Somebody got to tell them. Well, when you split it into what kinds of stuff it happens, but you know, there's a really big drive to be rich. Um, how you get there is really what makes the difference. Um, Good rich is I am very wealthy because I helped others to do better in their lives. Bad rich is I utilized them to do things that made me rich and just kept them going. And in between, there's a lot of things that I ain't going to discuss with you. You figure it out on the way. Again, I just watched The Heart of the Phoenix, and I said it very clearly. I ain't God. He talks through me. This is my channel. This is what he can pass through me. He can pass things through others that are completely different. That's why I'm not God. I'm just one of his servants. I might call it that. That sounds like a good idea. This title will be One of God's Servants. I'll call it Daddy. But, he's the only daddy that's ever been with me forever. Since I was born in front of him, obviously long before that. This spirit is a guy from Hong Kong said we both have old spirits. Yeah, yeah. Some of us are just recognizing that. Do the best you can with them. When you start understanding what it is that you are good at and what your old spirit might be able to tell the young you, and you're still young, even a 76-year-old Pope is still young when you got that kind of power. Again, we'll see. Right now, he's living as he always did, and if he continues to do so, more power to him. I would definitely not live exactly the same, at least not for the long haul. Take up a few of the goodies there, brother, but don't be a dickhead about it. Yeah, that's the in between. What is the in between? We got a really big media going on now. It's a lot bigger than it used to be. One could consider it kind of like weather or nature. In the social scenes of the past, you could pretty much isolate yourself into whatever you wanted. And now we got all these flies and mosquitoes and bugs, the media. They got all this technology, there ain't much you can do that they can't put out to the public who you need. You can't control it. That's something that's new. I'm going to go with this one. Hawaii passed a law that the paparazzi, all those bugs with technology, they need to be there, actually, they really do, are not allowed to invade your private space with their cameras from anywhere. I don't care if you're 10 miles away and you've got a super spy camera, you can't take a picture of me in my space. That's illegal, and we will do what legal can do. Personally, I like in the warm weather, I will have it barricaded, not barricaded, but I'll have my fence up. I like to walk out when I wake up with no clothes on. And eventually I'll have a hot tub out there. It's going to be a nice place. Not very big, I don't need a lot, but be nice. I used to walk outside in the middle of the city with no clothes on. Johnny was always in his house, and he wasn't a nosy nerd or a busybody female. And for the 10-15 minutes I needed to wake up, go outside when it's really hot, walk out the back door 10 feet to the garage, smoke my smoke, come back in, get dressed, go to work. I like being able to do that, and I'm not famous, but if I was, don't get in my space. Especially if I have, fences and stuff. It's not your territory. If I'm out in the public, yeah, I won't be that often. I'm not a very public person. I deliver pizza, but that's because I have to. Yeah, I pretty much do. was shocked that it was this easy, actually, but it worked. I got insurance on the Insight, and it's much lower than it was previously, so I'm very pleased. But being a pizza driver, you're always slightly under the law. You're not really allowed to do that. Kind of like being a dealer. You're not really supposed to be doing it if you're a small town one. So if anything happens, I wasn't delivering pizzas. It was just an accident. Or all kinds of hell breaks loose. And nobody gets paid. I've been in an accident since I was like 17 or 18, but still. You're delivering pizza, that's not covered. So anyways, I got that. I printed out the copy. And it works out perfectly, except I didn't save any money. It probably cost me a couple of bucks. If I saved any money by not having the Insight insured over the winter, they said you gotta send us $50 to get your license, or not license, your registration and owner's card back. I'm thinking plate, whatever. So I probably didn't save a penny. It's $50 for 2 months. 75 for 6 or whatever. So I probably didn't save a penny. I didn't have any money till recently. That's all I do is, miracles happen. So that's probably going to be probably over $1,000 to get that sucker back on the road. The battery's chewed up again. I went through these probably about 5 batteries in the 10 years it's been alive over this problem that nobody could figure out until we tried everything but the computer and said, oh shit. But that's okay because all my parts are new. At least in terms of the charging system. It's not okay, but I mean, once I get it back, supposedly it'll be good to go for a while, and then you can just expect the ordinary maintenance, water pump, things like that. Hopefully I don't need another battery every fucking 2 years, along with everything else that went wrong with it. Switching gears, trying to figure out what I want to talk about. Yeah, I can't wait to get the fence up in the back a little bit. It'll take a while. Luckily, again, miracles happen. Luckily, there's cinder block. They do a lot of other things too, but they actually manufacture cinder blocks. So it's $1.20 per cinder block, and I need at least 200, and 2 pallets is 220. So with delivery, that's $450. It seems like everybody wants $500, but whatever. I don't always have $500. They don't even pay me $500 every 2 weeks. But anyway, before I can start putting up the white vinyl fence, that thing, lots of them, actually it's a very small piece of land. Everybody on this lane has more, and their houses are huge compared to mine. I'm just grateful to have this little thing because that's all I need. so many things it takes, and each one has to come one at a time, to including the pieces to the fence. Need a ladder. Shocking to me, actually. Walmart has a ladder for $89, and because nobody's watching, well, that's probably good for them. I can't think of the name right now, but they want $369 for the same ladder. I do need one. I gotta get the garage. It's actually, it isn't really a garage. We don't put cars in it, but it is a secondary space that I like to hang out in. This is the front portion. The back portion leaks. We use it for storage where it's not leaking, and I got branches in there. And they actually have electric chainsaws. They're definitely quieter, so I'll probably get one. That was $99 or $89. The gas one, which is noisy, but you can take it anywhere, was $169. And I saw one gas for $99. That can't last forever. These things, they're very complicated. And there's got to be profit through a whole bunch of chains. So somewhere along the line, somebody bought like 10,000 of those chainsaws for $25 a piece. And it works its way to retail, and they need to make at least 100% profit. So along the train, between 25 and 50, there's on how many middlemen to get it to the masses. And then the final outlet has to make their 100% just to pay their bills to those who own and rent and charge taxes and all that stuff. So I'm expecting the auction will continue until there's balance. And the thing is, they don't even have these cameras anymore because they got cameras in phones. And I don't want those phones because they come with a contract. Along with, I'm kind of old-fashioned. I like my phone to be in my house, like Oprah said once, except she now has one. I don't always want to be bothered. When I was a manager, I had to have a beeper. They don't have those anymore. They got cell phones. Pager. So it would buzz on your hip, so you'd know. It used to beep too, but if the road noise and the music was too loud, you'd never hear it. I'm not done with this cigar. Black and mild. Take off the gloves. It ain't that cold. Sometimes I like cigars. I gotta get more. They were 2 for $79. That's actually more expensive than the crisscross that I smoke, but I don't do these things all the time. I do it when I'm having fun. This is fun for me. It takes a long time to get it through the system, but yeah, it's fun for me. Yeah, I got paid. It's probably the last $300 every 2-week check I'm going to get for a while. We've been back down to 30 hours a week. In terms of personal life, that's cool. In terms of income, that's not. But you gotta deal with what is. They do that because they don't want to have to provide health insurance. If I keep you under 30 hours, that's the rules, then that's what I'm going to do. Plenty of unemployed people.